pounds and pence coming in to my bank account. Worrying and wondering what's going to happen to my house price. I'm trying to sell my house. What's going to happen to me? I'm unemployed. Everybody is going through a tough time right now, and I wouldn't want for anyone to feel like they couldn't share what was going on. There's no point suffering in silence. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Josephine. This is a video on being furloughed. I work for a consulting firm, and the company I work for is brilliant. They are, I mean, not to start bragging or anything, but this is definitely a really great company, and it's through no fault of theirs, but as a consulting company, you obviously work on client projects, and if the client can't pay you, then that's going to have a knock-on effect. So I found out that the client project that I'm on is having to furlough all consultancies, so not just mine. We hadn't done anything bad, and so what does that mean exactly? It means that for a period of time I won't be actively working, but like I said, the company I work for is fantastic, and they didn't want to make anybody redundant or not have to pay people salaries. So what I'm having to do is take some of my annual leave days sooner than I would have planned to, which is fine. I understand the thought process behind it, but then plot twist, I'm trying to plan for a wedding. I'm trying to plan my wedding, which is scheduled for later on this year. Everything's up in the air. There's a separate video on planning during lockdown, which I'm gonna put out soon. I was out of work for a period of 9 months between 2018 and 2019 with £0 and pence coming in to my bank account. Trust me when I say I've been there. My furlough this time around is nowhere near as long as what I went through before. Back then it was a completely different circumstance. It wasn't furlough at all. My contract ended and I didn't have another one lined up, so I was job hunting for about 9 months until I got something else. But that my point is just that I've been there, and some of the things that helped me get through that period were what I'm going to share with you next. But there are two types of people. That says 7. There's 2. There's 2 types of people out there. There's people who don't mind being at home, being indoors, not having to get up for work, not having things to do, and that's great. Sometimes I am a bit like that. And then there's people who are more like me on a day-to-day that need to be active, need to be stimulated, need to have something to plan or something to do, and being at home or being furloughed can be quite a difficult time. I think regardless of your personality, eventually it begins to take a toll. So actually I've got some tips on what helped me get through my last period of unemployment that I'm going to incorporate in this period of furlough, and I hope it is useful for you. And if it is, great. If it's not, let me know what you are doing currently or what your plans are for the furlough period coming up or that you're going through right now. Number 1, get up. This is for people who are kind of like me, who are really active and, you know, blah 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 blah. So essentially laying in bed, you know, your first lie-in, your second day lying in, your third day lying actually has more of a negative impact on you than a positive one. It's cool for the first couple of days, but then, like I say, if you are someone that thrives off having activity, of being stimulated, of planning and stuff, laying in can actually be a slippery slope to feeling quite down, because the things that stimulate you and the things that motivate you are taken away, and then you can kind of just get into a rut of feeling quite down and feeling quite useless. So what I would always say is get up out of bed. Get out of bed, find something to do. If it's cleaning or gardening or whatever else you've been putting off for ages, get up, get something to do, have a sense of fulfillment. It could be the smallest things that will give you joy. It doesn't have to be some massive project like, oh, I'm gonna landscape or I'm gonna paint like all the fences in my garden. I mean, if you want to take on that kind of mammoth of a task, sure. If you don't, take little things, take each day at a time. Maybe today you want to arrange a wardrobe, or you want to fix a door handle that's been creaking, like mine, missing. Or maybe today you want to sort through your underwear collection and throw out the ones that you know need to go on a bin. But the point is, get up. Number 2 is it helps to meal prep, because then you're not just snacking 24/7 and eating junk. Now, when I say meal prep, it doesn't need to be one of those like containers with the dividers and you're like, oh, Monday I'm gonna eat this and Tuesday. Go for a shop on the weekend or whatever day works best for you, and buy food for maybe the week. Do that and have that in mind that, okay, this week I'm gonna have some pasta, I'm gonna have some fish, I'm gonna have some chicken, I'm gonna make fajitas. It helps you plan, and being a planner, you will eat better, you'll make better food choices, other than, oh, I don't know what to have for dinner tonight, I might get some takeaway. You don't want to come out of quarantine like 50 pounds heavier. If you do, great, but for the most part, I don't think that's people's goals. You've got so much free time, and it's very easy to eat, not because of physical hunger, but because of emotional hunger. And obviously being in furlough is it can be an emotional time, and it can be a time where you just want to eat your feelings. Don't do that. If you like to snack, and this goes for me as well, instead of eating sweets and Percy Pigs all the time, maybe incorporate some grapes. Grapes are nice. Or incorporate some strawberries, or if you like pomegranates, and then you can kind of add that to your sweets and slowly reduce the amount of sweets that you eat, Josephine. That's a tip. Number three, get out of the house. Getting out of the house, obviously within the legal guidelines, we're only really allowed to go, in the UK anyway, you're only allowed to go out for your exercise once a day, or for medication, or for food. Maybe other people are able to work and they're working from home in your household and you're just in your room feeling sorry for yourself. Get out the house. Walk, jog, sprint, take in the air and the sights, and just have a change of scenery, and it really will do you a world of good. Number 4, speaking of walking, you might want to take it a step further and actually work out. If you are a gym head, great. You probably will have some equipment at home. If you're not a gym head, it might be great to just do some bodyweight exercises at home, stuff that doesn't need equipment. You don't need to start going on Amazon and ordering stuff. But there's loads of videos on YouTube, loads of people doing Insta lives at the moment. I would say work out, do what you can. And the joy with working out is that it releases endorphins, and endorphins are happy feelings. When I was unemployed, back a little over a year ago, I would get up in the morning when everybody else is getting up, because I was the only one in my household who wasn't working. Everybody else was either going to school or going to work. And it just felt really sad not to have a purpose and not to have something to get up for. So what I started doing is that when everyone's up and getting dressed for the day, I would get up and put my gym clothes on and get in the car and drive to the gym. And I would work out for like an hour or an hour and a half, and I would just feel like a sense of accomplishment, so that even if I didn't get any interviews that day, or if I didn't manage to get any callbacks from any recruitment companies or anything, I felt like I had gotten up, I'd seized the day, I had done something worthwhile. And also when you work out, or I don't know if you, but when I work out, I also make more of a conscious effort to eat right, because I mean there's no point burning calories in the gym and sweating like a goat and then coming and stuffing my face with chocolate. I feel a bit more like I want to make my hard work count. So from working out, I want to eat better, and I want to drink my protein shakes, and I want to have my fruit and veg instead of just having Percy Pigs. So that ties in pretty well. Obviously we can't go to gyms at the moment because gyms are locked down, But if you want to get up, do some stretches, there's yoga, there's Pilates online. If you don't necessarily have to pay for stuff. There's loads of people on Instagram who just post their workouts, who have live videos. The opportunity and like the resources are endless. So do stuff, or follow my channel. I do workouts from time to time. I'm not like a fitness buff, but it's fun, so I do it. So yeah, workout. Number 5 is to limit the negativity. I find that you really need to protect your energy when you are feeling quite low. And one of the biggest sources of negativity, unfortunately, is the news and things like Twitter. If you have to mute people, mute people. If you have to unfollow people, unfollow them. But as much as possible, you don't want to be bombarded with, today there's 700 deaths, tomorrow there's 2,000 deaths, the day after someone died in their home, nobody was there. It can really just kind of really weigh down in your spirit. And I am a believer that like the things that you see, you hear, they really have an impact on your mental health. So instead of listening to the news and just having that on the cycle and hearing about how the economy is crashing and X companies laying off however many people, and this company's had to go into administration and that company's asking for a government bailout, and worrying and wondering what's going to happen to my house price. I'm trying to sell my house. What's going to happen to me? I'm unemployed, or I'm looking for a new job. Bring it down to a minimum. Obviously, you don't want to be in denial, and you don't want to be ignorant, because there is important information that's out there for you to know about. But what I'm saying is, don't just sit on the sofa or in your bed consuming so much negativity, because it will have an impact, and you will it eats into your subconscious basically. So there, limit the negativity. And then number 6 is to reach out to people. This is not a time to be an island. This is not a time to be a one-man band or in solitude or whatever. Reach out to people. If you're feeling low, call people. If you want to have a chat, call people. If you're worried that people might be working from home and you don't want to bother them, send them a text message. When they get around to it, they will respond. And if you are finding it's really difficult for you, then reach out. I know that a lot of the Samaritans hotlines are still active. Talk to friends, talk to family. Everybody is going through a tough time right now, and I wouldn't want for anyone to feel like they couldn't share what was going on. There's no point suffering in silence. We're all going through it together, and a problem shared is a problem's half solved. You might speak to one of your friends and they might they might cheer you up, they might share a joke, or actually just knowing that, actually, do you know what, I've been feeling like that as well recently. I have been feeling pretty low, or I found that watching the news is making me feel like crap. And sometimes it's just nice to know that you're not alone. So the person that you're speaking to might not necessarily be able to give you a solution. They might not be able to hire you or take you out of this furlough, but it's nice to know that you're not alone. So those are some of the tips that I can give you based on my experience, having been unemployed and also gonna go through furlough shortly. I hope it's been useful. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know, give me a comment, or actually just suggest other things that I might have missed out that have been really useful for you if you've been unemployed in the past, or if you are currently going through furlough. If you've hated it and you thought it was rubbish, then share it with your friends and have a good laugh. Anyway, until next time, thank you very much for tuning into my channel. Love you, bye.
Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.